Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is part 2 of the UFO or Cherubims. Now, before I left off, I was going to put this UFO thing in the casket. But I got some roses to throw over the casket after I close it. Now, before I left, we were explaining the looks of the creatures that come out the cherubims. But we're past. I'm going to go into the look of the UFO, the shape. What did Ezekiel see? Was it a flying saucer? Or was it what the Most High said it was? Chariots, cherubims, and no lightnings of a UFO. We're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 10. We're going to prove that these cherubs are not UFOs. They're not flying saucers. They're not flying triangles. They're not flickering lights that go in and out and disappear. They're none of that. We're going to explain what these cherubs is in this part 2. This part 2 might be important, might be just as important as the part 1. I'm going to start at Ezekiel chapter 10. Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament was above the head of the cherubims. There appeared over them as sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. And he spake unto the man clothed with linen, saying, Go in between the wheels, even under the cherub, and fill thy hands with coals of fire between the cherubs. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. Because we're supposed to be talking about flying saucers here. When you turn to the History Channel, they're trying to say that these cherubs are flying saucers. But we read that the Most High has told somebody to go in between the wheels. It's as if you were outside and you went under the car in between the wheels. This is not a flying saucer. It has wheels. It has a place you can go and get coal that's stored within this vehicle, this cherub. And then if you look above, it said cherubims. So there's more than one of these types of vehicles. The Most High is in what they call a throne with wheels. With wheels you can go in between and get coal out of. And he has these little cherubs under him. I'm going to continue to read. Now the cherub stood on the right side of the house when the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner room. And the glory of the Elohim went up from the cherub and stood over the threshold of the house. And the house was filled with the cloud. And the court was filled with the brightness of Yah's glory. And the sound of the cherubims' wings were heard even to the other court, as the voice of the Almighty Yah when he speaketh. We're going to stop right there. They said that the sound of these cherubim wings flapping, moving, was the sound of Yah's voice. We already know Yah's voice is very loud. The cases of these UFOs on these history channels and on these documentaries and biographies of people so-called being abducted, you never hear about them saying it was a loud engine. It's always this humming sound. It's never, I heard a real loud sound, because if they heard a real loud sound, I'm pretty sure you'll see neighbors who witnessed the abduction as it was happening. If this was the Most High coming and these flying saucers, it would sound like the voice of the Most High. It wouldn't be a quiet, humming engine that the world is trying to create so they can sneak and do what they need to do. The Most High is coming. He's coming loud. He don't have to hide. He don't have to sneak. He's the Most High. When he come, you're going to hear him, and you're going to hear him loud and clear. I'm going to read that again. And the sound of the cherubs' wings was heard even to the outer court, as the voice of the Almighty God when he speaketh. There we go right there. I already explained that there was wheels on this cherub, and in between these wheels you can go and get coal. I've explained that this so-called flying saucer is loud as the voice of Yah. So you're going to hear him coming. Now, I already explained that the faces of these creatures are not of the faces of the great aliens. They're the faces of the likeness of eagles, lions, men, oxes, things of the kingdom. Not things of man's imagination. Not things of Aleister Crowley's imagination. Not false angels, not fallen angels, lying and making false prophecies to these people who believe them, who don't have the light over them. Now, we're going to jump down to verse 19 of chapter 10 of Ezekiel. Because we gotta find something, we gotta find more about what's going on within this cherub, this aka UFO. Because this book is all about Israel. So we're gonna see if Israel is involved in this so-called flying saucer. I'm gonna start at verse 19. And the cherubims lifted up their wings and mounted up from the earth in my sight. And when they went out, the wheels also were beside them. Everyone stood at the door of the east gate of the Lord's house, and the glory of the God of Israel was above them, was over them above. I'm gonna read that again. And of the God of Israel was over them above. This is the living creature that I saw under the God of Israel by the river of Shabar. Now, Ezekiel said this is the creature he's seen by the river of Gabar, because as I said in the first video, this was a vision that Ezekiel had. This wasn't something that everybody beside him were seeing. This was only something the Most High was allowing him to see. As you see, he said he's seen the God of Israel, the Elohim of Israel, above them. Nobody who got abducted reported seeing the Elohim of Israel, or even anything close to the resemblance of him that's mentioned in the scriptures. People say they see gray aliens. They see all type of aliens. Every alien you seen on Men in Black with Will Smith, this is what these people see. They see nothing like the true scriptures, the true UFOs, the true cherubims, the true creatures that come out of the cherubims, which is creatures of Yah. They never see this. Never. So with that being said, I think this UFO thing is over with. I done proved that there is no such thing as flying saucers or anything resembling a flying saucer within these scriptures. This is another man-made lie being exposed. Another man-made tradition that has went too far in man's imagination. Movies, all kind of books, and all kind of things have been written on this lie. When you see the chariots, when you see the cherubims coming, just know it's the Most High. Just know that. It's not E.T. It's not none of these things. It's not none of the stuff you see in Cloverfield. It's none of that stuff you see in these movies. That's all a lie. They're making a profit off of man's imaginations and off man's fears. If you open up the Holy Scriptures, you'll see that every movie, every TV show, every book that was ever created was based off of these scriptures right here. These people have no imagination. The only imagination these people have comes from the Holy Scriptures that we have. The only imagination their false gods have, the fallen angels, is the imagination of remembering what they seen before they got kicked out of the kingdom. And the scriptures say they don't even know a quarter of what goes on in the heavens. So with that being said, this is the Hebrew Life. I'm Base Jerusalem. Shalom.